Hold on. Hey, hold on.
Was taken into custody by New Britain police. Our Channel 3 cameras were the only ones to capture that. Her sister, Jacqueline Garcia, and ex-boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita, were also brought in for questioning that night after a large fight broke out on Tremont Street, just hours after human remains were found in a plastic tote at a house a few streets over. Body camera video released is giving us a look at what happened after Garcia was taken away.
I bet you are wondering how we got here. The Jacqueline Mimi Torres story. This video contains discussion of real-life violence and harm to children, which some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Fair use disclaimer. This video may include images, audio, or video clips used for educational and commentary purposes under Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act. Fair use. Some stories are hard to tell, not because the words don't exist, but because no words will ever be enough. This is one of those stories. This is the story of Jacqueline Torres, a little girl known as Mimi. Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia was an 11-year-old girl from Connecticut. Born in 2013, she was remembered by family and friends as a bright child with a future full of promise, but that future was stolen from her. Mimi was a child, not a headline, not a court case, not evidence. She was a little girl who should have been worrying about homework, laughing with friends, dreaming about who she might become. She deserved safety. She deserved love. She deserved to grow up. But she didn't get that chance. At some point, Mimi disappeared. No Amber Alert, no missing person report, no frantic searches, just silence. To the outside world, it was as if she never existed at all. But behind closed doors, something was terribly wrong. On October 8th, 2025, police responding to reports of suspicious activity discovered something horrifying behind an abandoned home on Clark Street in New Britain, Connecticut. A large plastic storage container. Inside were the remains of Mimi in an advanced state of decomposition. Authorities believe Mimi died in the fall of 2024, more than a year before her remains were found, while her family was living in Farmington, Connecticut. Court and police documents paint a chilling picture. Mimi had allegedly been deprived of food for weeks before her death. Evidence suggests she was restrained with zip ties at times. After her death, her body was reportedly kept in the basement and was moved when the family relocated. Medical examiners later ruled the cause of death as fatal child abuse with starvation.
We have, strength and peace that they find who did it.
We began with a heartbreaking story. Tonight, a community is remembering a victim who they say was found in the backyard of an abandoned home in New Britain. Thank you so much for joining us on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Annette Montgomery. Now, this all started after human remains were found on Clark Street Wednesday, and now that site of tragedy has turned into a touching tribute. Fox 61's Stephen Reels shares the story.
While the New Britain police have not released the identity of the victim who was found in the backyard of this home behind me, the community out here says they know exactly who it was. And her name was Mimi. Bit by bit, this memorial to Jacqueline Torres has grown in front of this lifeless house on Clark Street. Balloons, teddy bears, and candles at the site where human remains were found in the backyard. And according to Torres's family, those remains were her.
May she rest in peace.
Visitors like Maria Flores appeared throughout the day, offering their support to the Torres family.
It touched me hard because I got grandkids, I got granddaughters, I got great-granddaughters.
At this moment, with very little information to go on, members of the Torres family tell Fox 61 they're still in the dark. The latest from the state medical examiner's office just lists the remains belong to a young girl. No timeline or what led up to the victim's death have been revealed. On Friday, the Department of Children and Families shared their support for the Torres family, saying in a statement, "We are profoundly saddened by the report we received late Wednesday night regarding the circumstances surrounding the untimely death of an adolescent girl. Our thoughts are with her family, friends, neighbors, and others who knew her, and for the pain and loss they are experiencing."
I did it. We begin tonight with new body camera footage just released in connection with the death of 11-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. Mimi's remains were found behind an abandoned home in New Britain last month.
Fox 61's Tim Latow joins us live in studio to break down the arrest of Jonathan Nanita, the boyfriend of the young girl's mother.
So, Tim, Mimi's remains were found behind an abandoned home in New Britain last month.
Yeah, that's right, Sarah and Brent. Now, you might remember Mimi's remains were found on October 8th. Her mother and aunt were arrested then 4 days later. Police then started an hours-long manhunt for Jonathan Nanita. According to the new body cam footage, he knew police were looking for him and he took off. What you're about to see is the moment officers tracked him down in a Waterbury neighborhood.
Hold on. Hey, hold on.
Body camera video shows the moment New Britain police officers took Jonathan Nanita into custody. At the time, he was wanted in the death of 11-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. Police say she was abused and malnourished and died in the fall of 2024. According to an arrest warrant, Nanita is accused of disposing a box with Jacqueline's remains at an abandoned property on Clark Street in New Britain. Once police found Nanita just after 9 p.m. on October 13th. You can see in the video, officers put him in handcuffs, and in the takedown, he gets a gash on his forehead.
Let me see your face. We'll call medics.
Nanita claims he was going to turn himself into police the next day and was upset by the physicality of the arrest.
Listen, bro, you'll get checked out. Don't you worry about it.
Come on, bro. Y'all didn't have to do that, though. I was going to turn myself in. Y'all didn't have to do that.
Turn yourself in.
You guys didn't have to
Little late for that.
You should turn yourself in a while ago. I was gonna say I was. You guys didn't have to do any of that, man. I didn't even do that to that girl, bro. I didn't. I'm over here trying to clear my name.
You'll have your time to talk, buddy.
Officers say Nanita knew they were looking for him, and he easily could have turned himself in earlier in the day when they were closing in on him in New Britain.
If you were going to turn yourself in, why didn't you stop in New Britain?
Stop right when you guys came?
In New Britain, in Britain.
When you guys came?
Yeah, when we came.
You're right down.
I drove off, but I didn't hit you.
Why didn't you stop and turn yourself in then?
Nanita is then patted down, put in the back of a police car, and checked out by paramedics. He then asks an officer about his children.
You know my kids are.
Developments now in the murder of a little girl whose remains were found dumped in New Britain. New video from police showing us the moment the girl's mother was taken in for questioning and eventually arrested. Channel 3's Amanda Callahan is your reporter live from New Britain Police Headquarters with a closer look. Amanda.
Aaron, the night Jacqueline Torres Garcia's remains were found at an abandoned property in New Britain, a large fight broke out between her family members just a couple blocks over. Now, we were there when Carla Garcia was taken away in handcuffs by New Britain police. She was not under arrest then, but police say she eventually admitted to starving her daughter.
Where's the girl?
This is video from October 8th, the night Carla Garcia was taken into custody by New Britain police. Our Channel 3 cameras were the only ones to capture that. Her sister, Jacqueline Garcia, and ex-boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita, were also brought in for questioning that night after a large fight broke out on Tremont Street, just hours after human remains were found in a plastic tote at a house a few streets over. Body camera video released is giving us a look at what happened after Garcia was taken away.
The whole family just showed up on Tremont Street. The 25.
I pulled over. Yeah. The officer could get me because they're chasing me with guns.
Yeah.
So I pulled over. I'm going there. It's my safest spot. They've been chasing me for like a whole hour.
What?
These dumbass kids, bro. Like.
What'd you do to them?
No, what they do to me.
Oh, I don't know.
Garcia isn't under arrest, but she says she isn't safe and doesn't want to leave the station.
If that gets come on me with guns again,
yeah.
I have kids.
When her kids are brought up, she tells the officer she has 5.
I have 5 kids.
5 kids.
Garcia pauses.
12. 12? Because Nina is 11, I think.
Who's 12?
Jack?
Garcia is getting emotional before she goes up to speak with the officers.
All I'm thinking about is what they're gonna do and what they're gonna do to my kids. That's all I'm thinking about.
But 4 days later, New Britain police have warrants for Garcia, her sister, and Nanita, charging them in connection with Jacqueline's death.
Jonathan, are you in here? Is he in?
Jonathan, come out.
He's not in here? Is he in here?
No, we haven't seen him.
Turn around.
Why?
Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
For what?
All three suspects are due to appear in court again this Friday. We also learned today that the medical examiner's office ruled Jacqueline's death a homicide by fatal child abuse with starvation.
In addition to his other charges, Nanita has also been charged with tampering with physical evidence and violation of legal requirements regarding the disposition of a body.
Yes, the next date is November.
Jonathan Nanita's appearance in New Britain Superior Court was brief on the matter of the additional charges. Nanita was initially charged with murder with special circumstances, conspiracy to commit murder with special circumstances, risk of injury, and cruelty to a child. During his brief appearance, his attorney also requested that Nanita remain in protective custody in jail due to ongoing safety concerns. Nanita was arrested last month along with Carla Garcia, Mimi's mother, and Jacqueline Garcia, Mimi's aunt. Police arrested the three after an investigation into a storage box found behind an abandoned property in New Britain. The box was found to contain human remains in an advanced stage of decomposition. Those remains were positively identified as Mimi, who was 11 years old at the time she died in the fall of 2024. Police say Mimi had been the victim of prolonged abuse and malnutrition before she was killed while the family lived in Farmington. Investigators say her body was kept in the basement of the family home and was moved with them when they later moved to New Britain. Nanita will appear in the Litchfield Judicial Courthouse on November 14th to face those additional charges.
Charged with murder and child cruelty. Jonathan Nanita, her mother's boyfriend, charged with murder and other offenses. Jacqueline Garcia, Mimi's aunt, charged with child cruelty and unlawful restraint. Court proceedings have drawn intense media attention as the community seeks justice for Mimi. Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia's story is heartbreaking. It forces us to ask difficult questions about how we protect children, how communities can recognize warning signs, and how systems might fail those they are meant to safeguard. Mimi was more than what happened to her. She was a child who mattered, and even though her voice was taken from her, her story is now speaking for her. Say her name. Remember her story. Protect the children.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Crime the Eway for more stories like these.